Captain Elena Reeves of the Earth Space Force stood on the bridge of the ESS Defiant, a state-of-the-art exploration vessel. Her dark eyes scanned the holographic displays, a frown creasing her forehead. "Status report," she barked. Lieutenant Jax, her Andorian communications officer, swiveled in his chair. His antennae twitched nervously. "Captain, we're receiving a distress signal from the Proxima Centauri colony. They're under attack." Elena's blood ran cold. Proxima Centauri was Earth's first extrasolar colony, home to over 1 million humans. "By whom?" she demanded. "The Zixcari, Captain," Jax replied, his voice trembling. "They claim the colony violated galactic law by expanding into a protected sector." "That's absurd," Elena spat. "We have all the necessary permits. Helm, set course for Proxima Centauri, maximum speed." As the Defiant streaked through space, Elena called an emergency meeting with her senior staff. Commander Ortiz, her XO, spoke first. "Captain, we can't possibly stand against a Zixcari battleship. We should contact Earth and wait for reinforcements." Elena shook her head. "By the time help arrives, the colony could be wiped out. We have to buy them time." Dr. Liang, the ship's chief scientist, cleared her throat. "Captain, I may have an idea. The Zixcari rely heavily on quantum communications for their targeting systems. If we could disrupt that, we could level the playing field," Elena finished, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. "Make it happen, Doctor." Hours later, the Defiant dropped out of FTL on the outskirts of the Proxima Centauri system. The sight that greeted them was horrifying. A massive Zixcari dreadnought loomed over the planet, its weapon systems glowing with barely contained energy. "Open a channel," Elena ordered. The reptilian face of Admiral Zussit appeared on screen, his scales shimmering with disdain. "This is your only warning, human," the Zixcari hissed. "Withdraw immediately or be destroyed along with these lawbreakers." Elena's jaw clenched. "Admiral, there's been a misunderstanding. Our colony has full legal rights to." The transmission cut off abruptly as the dreadnought fired, a lance of energy narrowly missing the Defiant. "Evasive maneuvers," Elena shouted. "Dr. Liang, are you ready?" "Yes, Captain," came the reply. "Quantum disruptor online. Fire." A pulse of invisible energy erupted from the Defiant, washing over the Zixcari ship. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, chaos erupted. The dreadnought's precise movements became erratic. Its energy weapons fired wildly into space, missing their targets by light years. Elena allowed herself a small smile. "Now's our chance. All power to shields and weapons. Target their propulsion systems." The Defiant may have been outgunned, but with the Zixcari systems in disarray, Elena's crew fought with everything they had. Precision strikes crippled the larger ship's engines, leaving it drifting in space. "We've got them," Commander Ortiz said, disbelief in his voice. "The colony is safe." But Elena knew this was far from over. "Send a message to Earth. Tell them the rules of engagement have changed." In the days that followed, news of the Defiant's victory spread throughout the galaxy. The Zixcari, humiliated by their defeat, withdrew from Confederation space. Other alien races looked at humanity with new respect and fear. Elena stood before the Galactic Council, her uniform pressed and her expression resolute. "We came to the stars in peace," she said, her voice carrying across the chamber. "We followed your rules, your laws, but when those laws were used against us unjustly, we had no choice but to forge our own path." She paused, meeting the eyes of each council member. "Humanity has no rules in warfare because we hope to never need them. But make no mistake, if pushed, we will fight with every ounce of ingenuity and determination we possess. We don't seek conflict, but we will always stand up for what's right." As Elena finished her speech, a murmur rippled through the assembled aliens. The age of human subservience was over. A new era had begun, one where humanity would chart its own course among the stars. Back on the Defiant, Elena looked out at the vast starfield. They had won a battle, but she knew greater challenges lay ahead. Humanity's spirit had been tested, and it had not been found wanting. Whatever the galaxy threw at them next, they would face it together, with courage, compassion, and the unbreakable will to survive. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter as the Defiant set course for its next adventure, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of a species ready to take its place in the cosmic order. Captain Elena Reeves, now Admiral Reeves, stood aboard the bridge of the newly commissioned ESS Prometheus, Earth's first true battleship. The ship hummed with power, a testament to human engineering and the reverse-engineered Zix-Carry technology. "Admiral," Lieutenant Commander Jax called out, his Andorian antennae twitching with excitement. "We're receiving a priority transmission from Galactic Central." Elena nodded, her face grave. On screen, the holographic display flickered to life, revealing the worried face of Ambassador Zara Chen, Earth's representative to the Galactic Confederation. "Admiral Reeves, we have a situation. The Vorax hive has gone rogue." Elena's blood ran cold. The Vorax, an insectoid race known for their hive mind and ruthless efficiency, had long been neutral in galactic affairs. What happened? "They've developed a new form of faster-than-light travel," Zara explained. "It's allowing them to bypass traditional defenses. 3 Confederation worlds have already fallen." "And let me guess," Elena said, a wry smile on her face. "They want humanity to step in." Zara nodded. "The Confederation is hesitant to act directly. They fear escalation, but they've agreed to support us if we take the lead." Elena turned to her XO, Commander Ortiz. "Looks like we've got work to do. Set course for the Vorax frontier, and get me everything we have on insectoid psychology." As the Prometheus streaked through space, Elena pored over reports and strategized with her team. Dr. Liang, now head of a multi-species scientific task force, had been working on countermeasures. "The Vorax hive mind is both their strength and their weakness," Dr. Liang explained during a briefing. "If we can disrupt their queen's connection to the warriors, we might be able to end this without massive casualties." Elena nodded. "That's the kind of thinking we need. We're not here to exterminate a species. We're here to stop a war." The battle that followed would be remembered for generations. The Prometheus led a fleet of Earth and Confederation ships against the Vorax Armada. But instead of opening fire, they deployed Dr. Liang's device, a massive quantum field that severed the psychic link between the Vorax Queen and her drones. Confusion reigned among the Vorax ships. Some continued to attack, while others drifted aimlessly. Elena's voice rang out across all frequencies. "Vorax warriors, hear me. You are no longer bound to your queen's will. The galaxy stands ready to welcome you as individuals, as equals. The choice is yours. Continue this war, or join us in peace." For agonizing hours, the human fleet held their fire, even as scattered Vorax ships launched desperate attacks. Elena's gamble paid off. One by one, Vorax ships stood down. The Queen, realizing her defeat, surrendered. In the aftermath, Elena found herself once again before the Galactic Council. But this time she wasn't alone. Beside her stood a Vorax representative, not a mindless drone, but a free-thinking individual. "Members of the Council," Elena began, "today marks a new chapter for the galaxy. Humanity came to the stars seeking knowledge and cooperation. We faced challenges and made mistakes. But we've also shown that there's always another way, if we're willing to look for it." The Vorax clicked its mandibles in agreement. "The humans have taught us the value of individuality, of free will. We offer our deepest apologies for our actions, and we humbly ask to rejoin galactic society, not as a hive, but as a federation of free Vorax." As murmurs of approval spread through the council chamber, Elena allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had come so far in such a short time. They had faced the temptation of becoming conquerors and chosen a different path. Back on the Prometheus, Elena gazed out at the starfield, lost in thought. Commander Ortiz approached, datapad in hand. Orders from Earth, Admiral. They want us to lead a joint human Vorax expedition to unexplored space. Seems our new allies are eager to chart a new course. Elena nodded, a spark of excitement in her eyes. Inform the crew, Commander. Looks like our adventure is just beginning. As the Prometheus prepared for its next mission, Elena reflected on humanity's journey. They had proven themselves on the galactic stage not through conquest, but through innovation, compassion, and an unyielding spirit. The stars had once seemed cold and distant, but now they beckoned with endless possibilities. Humanity had found its place among the cosmos, not by following the rules, but by forging their own path, a path of courage, creativity, and hope. And as long as there were stars to explore and challenges to face, humanity would continue to push the boundaries of what was possible. The Prometheus engaged its FTL drive, streaking away into the unknown. Whatever lay ahead, Elena knew one thing for certain: the human spirit would light the way. Years passed, and humanity's influence continued to grow throughout the galaxy. The joint human Vorax expedition had uncovered wonders beyond imagination, from the crystalline forests of Lumina to the sentient gas clouds of the Nebula Collective. With each discovery, the bonds between species strengthened, and the Galactic Confederation evolved into a true community of equals. Admiral Elena Reeves, her hair now streaked with grey, stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, a massive space habitat that served as the new headquarters for interspecies cooperation. Behind her, representatives from a dozen alien races debated the latest proposal for galactic governance. Admiral, a familiar voice called. Elena turned to see Ambassador Zara Chen approaching, accompanied by a hovering, iridescent being, a member of the newly discovered luminous species. Ambassador, Elena greeted warmly. And welcome, Prism of Thought. I trust your journey was comfortable. The Luminan's body flickered with patterns of light, their form of communication. Your human hospitality continues to impress, Admiral, Zara translated, but we bring troubling news. Elena's expression grew serious. What is it? Our long-range sensors have detected an anomaly, Prism of Thought communicated. A void in space, growing larger by the day. It's consuming everything in its path. The news spread quickly, and soon the entire Confederation was on high alert. The void, as it came to be known, defied all known laws of physics. It wasn't a black hole or any other recognized phenomenon. It simply erased whatever it touched from existence. In an emergency session of the Galactic Council, theories flew back and forth. Some believed it to be a weapon, others a natural disaster beyond comprehension. But as the void drew closer to populated systems, one thing became clear: they needed a solution, and fast. Elena found herself once again at the center of a galactic crisis. The Prometheus, now upgraded with technology from a dozen worlds, was tasked with leading the investigation. Dr. Liang, her hair white, but her mind as sharp as ever, coordinated a multi-species scientific team. It's not just matter that's being erased, Dr. Liang explained during a briefing. It's spacetime itself. Whatever's causing this, it's more fundamental than anything we've encountered before. The Vorax representative, Click of Insight, shitted thoughtfully. Perhaps we're thinking about this the wrong way. What if it's not destruction but transformation? Elena leaned forward, intrigued. Go on. In our highest ancient legends, Click of Insight continued, there were stories of gates between realities. What if this void is a doorway? The idea was met with skepticism, but as other options dwindled, Elena made a bold decision. The Prometheus would enter the void. Preparations were intense. The ship was equipped with experimental shielding, its hull reinforced with exotic materials. The crew, a mix of humans and aliens, volunteered knowing it might be a one-way trip. As the Prometheus approached the edge of the void, Elena addressed her crew and, through them, the entire Confederation. We face the unknown, as we have so many times before, but we do not face it alone. Every species, every individual in this galaxy has contributed to this moment. Whatever lies beyond, we will face it together. With a final burst of its engines, the Prometheus plunged into the void. For a moment, every sensor went dark. The crew held their breath, waiting for oblivion. But oblivion didn't come. Instead, the view screens lit up with a sight beyond imagination. They found themselves in a space between spaces, a nexus where countless realities intersected, and they weren't alone. Beings of pure energy, of thought and possibility, surrounded the ship. They were the custodians, guardians of the multiverse. Through a form of telepathy, they communicated their surprise and admiration. In all our existence, they conveyed, no species has ever willingly entered the nexus. Your courage is unprecedented. Elena, her mind reeling but her voice steady, responded. We came seeking understanding, hoping to protect our reality. We offer friendship and exchange of knowledge. The custodians conferred among themselves, their energies swirling in complex patterns. Finally, they reached a decision. Your arrival heralds a new era. The barriers between realities have grown thin. We sought to repair the damage, but perhaps it is time for a new approach. What followed was beyond anything Elena could have imagined. The custodians shared glimpses of infinite realities, of civilizations that had risen and fallen across the multiverse, and they offered humanity and its allies a choice to become part of something greater, to join in the stewardship of reality itself. Months later, in the Grand Chamber of Harmony Station, Elena stood before representatives of every known species in their galaxy. The custodians, now able to manifest in this reality, hovered nearby. We stand at a crossroads, Elena began. We're being offered a role in cosmic events beyond our wildest dreams, but it comes with great responsibility. Our decisions will affect not just our reality, but countless others. The debate that followed was long and intense. Some feared the unknown, others eagerly embraced it. In the end, it was the unity that humanity had helped forge that made the difference. Species that had once been bitter enemies now stood together, ready to face a new frontier. As the vote was tallied, Elena felt a profound sense of pride. Humanity had come so far from its first tentative steps into the galaxy. They had faced war and found peace. They had encountered the impossible and made it possible. The final tally appeared on the grand display. The decision was made. Their galaxy would accept the custodian's offer. As cheers erupted throughout the station, Elena gazed out at the starfield. The void that had once threatened them now shimmered with possibility. Humanity and its allies were about to embark on their greatest adventure yet, not just exploring the cosmos, but helping to shape the very fabric of reality. The stars no longer seemed distant or cold. They were beacons, calling them to new discoveries, new challenges, and new horizons. And humanity, with its unbreakable spirit and boundless creativity, was ready to answer that call. As the Prometheus prepared for its first official mission as part of the new Multiverse Initiative, Elena allowed herself a moment of reflection. They had started this journey with no rules, guided only by their principles and determination. Now, they would help write the rules that would shape the future of not just one universe, but many. The adventure was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. The adventure was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. Decades passed in the blink of a cosmic eye. Humanity and its allies, now known as the Confluence, had grown into their role as custodians of the multiverse. The Prometheus, long since retired, had become a symbol of unity and exploration, permanently docked at Harmony Station as a museum and training center for new generations of cosmic adventurers. Admiral Elena Rees, now in her twilight years, stood before a class of cadets, a diverse group of young beings from across the known universes. Her eyes, though lined with age, still sparkled with the same curiosity and determination that had driven her all those years ago. When humanity first ventured into the stars, she began, her voice strong despite her years, We thought we were alone. We believed that conflict was inevitable, that we needed to be ready for war at every turn. She paused, a wry smile crossing her face. We were wrong, of course, but we were also right in a way. The universe, no, the multiverse, is filled with wonders beyond imagination. But it's also filled with challenges that test us in ways we never could have anticipated. A holographic display flickered to life behind her, showing scenes from humanity's journey, the battle against the Zixkari, the liberation of the Vorax, the plunge into the void, and countless other adventures since. We learned that the greatest weapon isn't a battleship or an energy beam. It's this, she tapped her temple, and this, she placed a hand over her heart. Ingenuity and compassion. The will to find another way, even when all seems lost. The courage to reach out in friendship, even to those who once were enemies. The cadets listened in rapt attention as Elena recounted tale after tale of cosmic diplomacy, of scientific breakthroughs, of seemingly insurmountable odds overcome not through force, but through creativity and cooperation. But make no mistake, she continued, her tone growing serious. We are not pacifists. When the safety of innocent lives is threatened, when tyranny seeks to crush freedom, we stand ready to fight. But we fight smart. We fight with every tool at our disposal, and our greatest tool has always been our humanity. As if on cue, an alert chimed softly. One of the cadets, a young lumina whose body shimmered with excitement, raised a tendril. Admiral, we're receiving a priority transmission from the Nexus. A new anomaly has been detected in Sector 31A of Universe Cluster Beta 9. Elena's eyes lit up with a familiar fire. Well then, cadets, it seems the multiverse has a pop quiz for us. Who's ready for a field trip? The enthusiasm in the room was palpable as the cadets rushed to their stations. Elena watched them go, a sense of pride swelling in her chest. These young beings, human and alien alike, were the future. They carried with them the best of what every species had to offer. As the newly christened Prometheus EU prepared for launch, Elena took her place on the bridge. The ship hummed with power, a harmonious blend of technologies from 100 worlds and a dozen universes. Course laid in, Admiral, the young Vorax navigator chittered excitedly. Nexus breach in T-minus 30 seconds. Elena nodded, a familiar thrill running through her. After all these years, the unknown still called to her. Take us out, Ensign. Let's see what wonders await us this time. As the Prometheus E slipped into the swirling energies of the Nexus, Elena reflected on the long, strange journey that had brought them to this point. From a single planet, afraid and alone in the cosmic night, to the guardians of multiple realities. Humanity had come so far, and yet, in many ways, they were the same as they had always been, curious, resilient, and ever striving to be better. The ship emerged into a new universe, one filled with sights and phenomena that defied description. But whatever challenges lay ahead, Elena knew one thing for certain: they would face them the same way they had faced every challenge before, with courage, with compassion, and with the unbreakable human spirit that had carried them across the stars and beyond. As the crew of the Prometheus EU set to work unraveling the latest cosmic mystery, Elena allowed herself a quiet smile. The adventure continued, as it always would. For in the vast tapestry of the multiverse, humanity had found its true calling, not as conquerors, not as mere survivors, but as explorers, peacekeepers, and guardians of the wonder that was life itself. The stars stretched out before them, infinite in their possibility. And humanity, along with the allies they had made along the way, was ready for whatever came next. For they had learned the greatest lesson of all, that in the face of the unknown, there were no rules but those they chose to make. And they chose to make them wisely, with hope, courage, and an unwavering belief in the potential for good in every corner of existence. The adventure wasn't just beginning, it was eternal.